Hi there, I'm Scott Brown, a solo developer for Journey for the Crown, and this is my second devlog. In this devlog, I want to discuss the abilities and talent systems for Journey for the Crown. While working on the abilities and talents, I found that I wasn't putting in the data properly. I was losing my spot. So I ended up creating some Excel sheets, threw in some class data, and plugged in all the information that I wanted for each class. Once I did this, I found that I was moving along much quicker and things were way more organized. Now with all this data, I was running into other issues, and that was loading time. The loading time was taking way too long, and it was because all this information was being loaded and then converted into specific variables that I had set. Traditionally, I was doing it with XML, and that's what you're seeing here. And I liked XML. It's really easy to work with. You can copy stuff. It's just a Word file almost. But scriptable objects came out, and that's when things really started changing. I was able to reduce the load time by about 90% by just converting my project to use scriptable objects. I had to sweep through the entire project and clean up all my code so it accepted these new objects. They're literally just tiny data containers, and they're nice and neat and tidy and easy to work with. So I went and did this. It took about 5 months to fix up my code, but once I did, the load time was super quick. Now the next part was, how am I going to display this for you guys? I came up with this tree idea because it kind of looks like a giant tree with little fruits hanging on it. So with all these different tiny little nodes, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make the tree also slide with it, so it kind of reveals parts of the tree as you build your talent tree upwards. So that's what I came up with. And then in order to make this all work, I decided to use a little bit of a node-based system with the scripts that I had designed. So each one of these little tiny nodes represents a block of a talent. So whenever you spend a point, it applies point values to the block itself, but it also opens up little tiny trees inside the talent tree, as you can see here. I thought this was really neat. Now I wanted to make sure that all the players figured out how to use their main class first. So at level 10, I decided that's when you get access to these subclasses. Now in this example, I'm just casting a friendly heal on my companion here, and it's landed for 40. I'm going to specialize in the warden and spend a few points on making that heal better. Now this one here is going to add a healing over effect time to that very heal. Now to make this all work, I came up with this idea where your main class is a class that's always going to be used. It's kind of like your auto attack and your auto healing. So then these subclasses can actually dial into those very spells and abilities, and every talent subclass has a unique way of modifying those main abilities. It could be just more damage, more healing, it could be area effect, maybe it gives you a buff. There's so many different varieties out there, and that's the cool part about subclasses in this game. Now to make things even more interesting, each subclass also comes with its array of different abilities and core talents that'll modify those too. Now I really hope you enjoyed this devlog series about abilities and talents. It took a long time to put it all together, but I think it looks really good. Now if you haven't already, make sure you head on over to Steam and give me a little wish list. And anything else you can do, like subbing, following, even heading on over to Twitch and watching some of my streams. You have no idea how helpful this stuff is in breaking through the algorithms that are huge walls for any indie game. And thanks so much for watching this. I hope to see you in the next devlog.